Hi, my friends. I was like waiting for this to kind of adjust. Retrograde has been real crazy with the technology. Hi, my friends. Um, Lovely to have you. My name is B, just in case if you're new around these parts. If you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. It is Wednesday. Happy hump day. Okay, we're getting through the week. So that means today is What Do You Need to Know Wednesday. For those of you who are new here, let's kind of give a good rundown. What Do You Need to Know Wednesday is basically a general wrap up of what you might need to know, starting off the week as you like end the week, or maybe just ending the week, trickling off into the weekend. Maybe you need clarity, confirmation, or anything like that. So yeah, this is basically that, what it is you might need to know this week. This is going to be for the week of, what do we start with? The 16th, right? So March 16th through the 20th. The times are really flying. I mean, wow, March actually feels like it had just started and it's already about to end. So, as we wind down the month, as we wind down the week, let's go ahead and jump in to see what it is that we might need to know to make sure that we are finishing out the week strong, to actually maybe even finish out the month strong. Okay, Pisces season is wrapping up. We should be entering Aries season relatively soon. And yeah, super excited to see what, things entail. Super excited to see what happens, you know. We'll see. All right. So like, share, subscribe, drop down below in the description box if you want to find me on other platforms, book personal readings, or anything like that, a part of that jazz. And yeah, I think that's everything. Like, share, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into the rest of it. So you know how I do's it. If you know and you're accustomed to being here, I like to jump in with an oracle card. Sorry, I'm being nosy. So if you see me looking again, there's like windows. I'll be kind of trying to peek out to see what's going on. But let's start with the Oracle card. We'll like move around to other Oracle cards. Tarot, wrap up with some money messages. Bada bing, bada boom, and that'll be that. Okay, so hopefully you guys are having a good start to the week, a good finish to the week, a good hump day, or a good weekend at whatever time or space or place you're finding this. And let's go ahead and jump in. I'm ready for retrograde to be over. I think retrograde is over in 2 days. The shadow period will last until about April the 9th. So, we'll see what the energy is giving after retrograde is over. But what do we have for this week? We have the Helen of Troy, which is about beauty. I feel like I want to take one more card though. Helen of Troy, the key word here says beauty. Give me one more. These cards are so big though. It'd be like kind of hard to like really shuffle them. Quitesh, which is pleasure. A card that I absolutely love to get, love to have. Okay, Quitesh is pretty easy for me to be able to run down. Bottom of the deck, we do have Pomona. Okay, so the overall energy for this week is remembering that you have more than enough, even when it feels like you don't have more than enough. Remember that you have more than enough. You have more than enough resources, more than enough finances to get you by, more than enough time, more than enough energy, more than enough fill in the blank here, right? Plentifulness is the name of the game. Resourcefulness is the name of the game this week. Kutush here being out on the board on the spread here makes me feel like, remember this week to do what brings you pleasure. Okay, now is not the week to be super hard on yourself, to be super like uptight about certain things, especially because again we have Mercury in retrograde in Pisces. The sun is in Pisces. We have a new moon in Pisces coming up, maybe in about 24 to 48 hours. So things feel very unserious. Things feel very floaty. Things feel very up in the air, as it should feel, as Pisces energy can feel, right? So this isn't the time to like be super serious and stern and like super locked in. I think this is a week and a time where you need to start thinking about what brings you pleasure, what makes you feel good. Carve out some time for things that bring you pleasure, right? It is in the small moments like that of doing things that feel good that helps you continue to like get back at it, right? Like again, if you just work, 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 and you're not carving out time to hang out with friends, hang out with loved ones, laugh, play, indulge in things that again make you smile, make you happy, make you feel good, then after a while, life can just feel dull. It can just feel redundant. It can feel very bleak, bland, boring, tasteless, right? It can add to extra frustration. It can add extra stress. It can add extra annoyance because you're not allowing yourself that time in those moments to really just relax, pause, tap in with you before getting back to the serious, structure and routine of things, right? Beauty already, I'm not really super familiar with this card, but it is making me feel like this is a good time to like focus on the beauty of things, is kind of what this is giving me. Focus on the beauty of things. How can we find the beauty in something even when, again, it feels like it's not there, right? How can we focus on the plentifulness of things even when it doesn't feel like it, right? How can we remind ourselves I have more than enough money to pay my bills and survive and live life even if it doesn't feel like it, because if you check your bank account right now you got like $5.69. You know what I'm saying? So it might not really feel like it right now in this moment, like, oh, I'm just so plentiful and everything works out for me. But how well can you still hold on to that and like adapt to that mindset even though it might not exactly be reflected right now? How can you find the beauty in a situation even though it might feel like, girl, where is the beauty in this situation? You would have to find it. You would have to find it. Sometimes you have to create it. Sometimes, again, you have to create the beautiful moments. You have to find the silver lining. You have to create a silver lining in something. Even if you like, bitch, everything is going wrong in my life right now. But even if you walk outside and you like, wow, it's so beautiful today. That's fine. Hold on to that. Even if that's all you got. Even if that's all that's going on right now. Where it's just like everything in my life is turning to shit. But bitch, at least the sun is shining and the birds is chirping and the clouds is out and it's a beautiful day today. And if that's the only beauty you can have throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, that's fine. Hold on to that. How can that be good enough until everything else starts rolling? Is what this feels like. And how can you find pleasure in that until other pleasures can kind of rear their heads up? You know what I mean? Let's see if I can, yes, be Helen of Troy, because that's what I was looking for. So let me hold on to this. And I don't want to read the entire thing, so I'll just kind of skim through. It says, recognize your own unique beauty. Stop comparing yourself to others. Real beauty is apparent in all cultures and all ages. Beauty should not be used as a weapon. Real beauty is hypnotic, yet reality beauty has less to do with looking a specific way and more about the spirit coming through. The word charisma comes from the Greek charis and ma, meaning the spirit shining through. Each of us is desirable, perfectly formed to be what we want to be. Should we become too possessive by the external, something that is ever changing, we may become just as imprisoned as Helen was. I'm trying to see if there's anything I'm missing. Shadow side? No? Okay. Well, I'll let that be that. I'm still standing by what I said though. But I guess this also can tap into like physical beauty. I don't necessarily get physical beauty though. I get, again, how can you find the beauty in what's going on? Oh, something I will take though that I think is still resonating through my spirit is comparing yourself. I won't, this doesn't necessarily feel like this week, and you could be, right? This week comparing your physical beauty or your external beauty, comparing your hair, comparing your looks, comparing your style, comparing skin colors, complexion, eye color, but this also feels like find the beauty in your own life this week, and how can you stop comparing? you know Maybe, again, things aren't feeling so beautiful in your life. Maybe when you think about it, all you can really do to hold on to some beauty is walk outside and go, wow, well, at least the sky looks nice. Again, like I said, everything else in my life is turning to shit right now, but at least the skies is blue and they're clear and the weather is great and the birds are chirping and it's sunny, right? If that's all you have to hold on to it. But then don't go to the next motherfucker and then start comparing y'all lives. How can you find the beauty in your own life? How can you find the pleasure in your own life? How can you find the abundance in your own life, even if it doesn't feel like there is none right now? How can you find the plentifulness in your own situation, in your own life? What is the silver lining? Because that's something to consider and think about. Or are you spending this week comparing yourself? You looking at your life, but then you looking at what's going on over there. You looking at what you doing, but then you looking at what somebody else doing. Yeah, yeah, my life is okay, but they got money and they traveling, and girl, and my neighbor just came back from this trip and that trip, and her man and their job and how much money. Stop comparing yourself. Again, comparisons are the thief of joy. You literally would never be happy if you keep comparing your situation to the next situation. If you can keep comparing what you're going through to what somebody else is going through. And or maybe like the book said, even if you keep comparing your looks, you'll never really be able to appreciate your own unique, authentic beauty if you keep comparing yourself to Victoria's Secret models. You know what I'm saying? If you keep comparing yourself to the popular girl at school, the popular girl in class, if you keep comparing yourself to that one person at work, or that one person in your network, or that one person in that program, that community group, that church fellowship that you was at, and it's just like, oh, well, but I'll never, I thought I looked nice until I went to search and I saw Sister James with the motherfucking church hat and shit. Bitch, I thought I looked good. Who's to say that you can't? Who's to say that you don't? You the one robbing yourself of the confidence and the pleasure, quotation card, right? And the ability to say, you know what? Yeah, she look good, but I look good too. I don't need no church hat to feel like nothing. So how are you comparing yourself to this week? And instead of comparing yourself, how can you find beauty and pleasure in what's going on right now? You don't have to wait for it. Sometimes people get to waiting for it. Yeah, I'm gonna take the day off after I make X amount of money. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the comedy show after I work X amount of hours. No, go right now. Don't wait till later on in life. Don't wait until you finally make the bread, finally get the money, finally get the job, finally get the promotion, finally. No, do it right now. How can you find beauty and pleasure in your life right now? In this moment where you are right now, what's happening for you right now in this moment? Because that's what matters. And that also can be what help you with your plentifulness, right? In your abundance and your resources. You are never without resources. You actually have so much more than you think you have. You have more to give, you have more to offer, and more to come. So how are you finding pleasure? What is the beauty you're finding in the thing? And how can you stop either comparing your situation to another person's situation, or comparing your life in general to somebody else's life? Comparison is the thief of joy. You'll never be able to appreciate what you have, love what you have, be confident about what you have, okay? Feel assured in what you have or in what's coming for you if you keep looking at what somebody else is doing. It's like planting trees. It's like having a green thumb. It's like planting an apple tree. Yeah, you might have planted a seed and maybe this first seed didn't work. Maybe it's the soil. Maybe it's the fertilizer. Maybe it's where you've positioned it because it's not getting enough sunlight. That's fine, but you can't focus on what you need to do to make it work if you keep looking 3 rows down and you go, damn, well they apple tree already sprouting. Damn, what they did, how they did, what they, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to copy them. No, because what worked for them won't work for you. Maybe they got it right on the first try. But maybe the fertilizer that they use ain't the fertilizer you need to use. Maybe the fertilizer that you used isn't the problem, right? But if you change your fertilizer because they use a certain type of fertilizer and you didn't use what they use and you keep comparing, you still might fuck up. Because the whole time you thinking it's the fertilizer, you didn't change your fertilizer 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times trying to be like everybody else. When the whole time you just needed to plant it in a different place so it can get better sunlight. You just needed to water it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So again, don't compare yourself. Don't be trying to look at everybody else and what everybody else doing. Eyes on your own paper. Okay, eyes on your own work. Focus on the man in the mirror. Focus on the woman in the mirror. Give me an oracle card. Yeah, Nicki Minaj, Pretty in Pink, mic check, moment for life. Okay, and all you bitches is my sons. Again, remember that you are the blueprint. There's no need to compare yourself to anybody. Okay, because one thing about Miss Minaj, she gonna remind you that she is the pink print. That's what's on here. Pretty in Pink. The name of the album was what? Pink Print. Similar to Blueprint from Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So it's like letting you know, like, look, ain't no use in comparing myself to nobody because I'm the one, not the two. Okay, I'm the one that everybody follow. I set the trends, I set the standard, I set the expectation. What's going on for me is exactly uniquely for me. It's not for you to go try to compare yourself to nobody else. Okay, especially because as I'm looking at Barbie here in the corner, most of that shit be fake anyway. So again, you can go compare yourself to somebody else. Yeah, do the right thing. The first thing my eyes landed on was perception. You see it right here in the corner, right? Perception in this do the right thing card. Most of this shit be fake anyway. Like for instance, again, you can compare yourself to all the people on Instagram, but social media is fake. Barbie, plastic, fake. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. It's not authentic. So again, don't spend no time this week trying to compare your situation, compare your life, compare you and who you are or what you're doing to get to where you're going or where you are now versus where you trying to go. This ain't the time to be trying to compare it to nobody else. Because again, a lot of the time it's fake and it's all a matter of perception. They're not gonna show you their struggles. They're not gonna show you how hard they've been having it. They're not gonna show you all of the trials and the tribulations they go through. They're not gonna show you how many times they done fucked up their bag and fucked up their sack and went broke. They just gonna show you all the racks and shit up to their ear. But they ain't gonna show you again all of the L's that they took in order to get there. You just looking at all the wins. And you like, damn, I wanna win too. Yeah, but they not showing you their losses. The win that they showing you could be from 3, 4 years ago. They just make it look good. They just make it look like it's going on right now. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean that they're not struggling. That don't mean that they're not going through it right now. But again, the more you compare yourself and you can look on social media, look at your neighbor, look at the next motherfucker and go, damn, I'm lacking. Damn, I need to do this. Damn, I need to do that. Eyes on your own paper. Eyes on your own paper. And it'll keep a lot of aggression down. It'll keep a lot of annoyance down. Okay. I don't know why I'm seeing ice. So that could be a thing. Is something with ice going on in the news right now? Or something? I don't know. I'm just seeing it. But like I said, it'll keep a lot of annoyance down. It'll keep a lot of aggression down. It'll keep a lot of tension down also. Okay, by not comparing yourself, by not looking at your fellow man, by not looking at nobody else paper, else work, and trying to like mimic them and copy them. Do what works for you. Do you, and you ain't in competition or comparison with nobody but yourself. Nobody but the old version of you. Nobody but the outdated version of you. Nobody but the lower vibrational version of you. Nobody else matters. Okay, so let that definitely be in mind because again, the more you focus on yourself, the more you'll begin to see your plentifulness and your resourcefulness, your abundance, right? Definitely come into play also. But it's going to come out of you focusing on yourself this week. Focusing on yourself, focusing on I'm literally hearing your own bag. So again, abundance could be a big issue. Finances could be a big issue. Okay, and this is the time to really focus on your money. Yeah, look at Beyonce and Nipsey Hussle accidentally slipped out of my hand. Come on now, and these are two boss energies. Nipsey Hussle already know what his vibe is. Beyonce already know what her vibe is. But I wonder how if they would have ever became Nipsey and Beyonce if they was always so focused on other people. If Beyonce was so focused on Kelly, would she have ever actually became Beyonce? Probably not. She'd have been too focused on trying to keep her eyes on Kelly, right? But you have to actually focus on yourself. Don't compare yourself. I wonder if Kelly would have ever became Kelly Rowland if she'd always compare herself to Beyonce. Probably not. She'd have probably been too busy trying to be like Beyonce instead of carving her lane as who? Kelly Rowland. Beyonce carved her lane as who? Beyonce. But imagine if they compared each other. That's a lot of tension, right? You creating tension in your friendships, tension in your relationships, tension with the people around you. It's building a secret level of animosity, and the whole time again, it's fake. It's a facade. These people who you think got it like that, these people who you think are just so good shit, so holier than now, so put together, they life just so well together. It's all bullshit. So remember that this week. Remember that this week. Give me some tarot on the matter. Yeah, look what fell out. Nine of swords, anxiety, 10 of wands, okay, baggage, obligations, responsibilities, magician card here, which is about again be your resourcefulness, your plentifulness, Okay, your potential, really leaning into your fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? Utilizing the resources that you have. Again, like I said, you might not have the most money. You might not have 5,000 in the savings. You know what I'm saying? But with that 50, you can still do a little something. With that 500, you can still do a little something. You might not have all the resources you need, but you have exactly what you need to get by. It says the Pomona card down at the bottom of the deck of plenty. You have plenty. Even when it feels like you ain't got shit, please. You have plenty. You have more than enough that you need to get by. You might not have just a surplus of shit, but you have more than enough to do what you need to do. You might not have all the money in the world, but you have more than enough to get bills paid. You have more than enough to get groceries. You have more than enough to get gas, which is still more than enough. Okay? How can we learn to be grateful for that? Sometimes, again, comparison can also rob you of your gratefulness. Yeah, you might have enough to get bills paid and get you a little groceries or whatever, but then you look at the next motherfucker and it's like, oh, they got enough to get bills paid and all they stuff on auto pay and they got all the groceries and they had a little extra money to shop. Oh, okay, you can get there too. But again, that ain't for you to be counting their pockets or paying attention to them. Pay attention to yourself and tapping into your fullest potential, doing what you need to do to really gain the fullest potential so that way you can be there. That was say, but then it'll rob you of your gratefulness. You'll get to sit here feeling salty and shit. Well, I ain't got enough to shop. I ain't got enough to buy a new home, buy a new car, buy some new shoes. I ain't got enough to go on a cruise. Oh, okay, well, how can you be grateful and thankful for what you have right now? Because that's what matters. And eventually you might get that cruise. You work hard enough, stay focused long enough on the goal, you might get it. But then you deter yourself off your path. You deter yourself from the goal. You deter yourself from what you want to do because now you locked in on what they doing. You can't even just be thankful for what you got. You know, God, I would love to go on a cruise, but I thank you for still allowing me to still get my bills paid. These lights is on. It getting cold. It's getting hot outside. Wherever you at in the world, my AC, my heat work, my car work. It got AC. It got heat, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. How can you find the beauty in that? Yeah, it might not be an all expense, all inclusive cruise. Ooh, yeah, we would all love to go on one of those. But the beauty in it is that I'm not homeless. I'm not going to bed hungry, and I'm in a very warm and or very cold. Cause look, I like it a little chilly at night, and it's been a little chilly at night as of lately. I stay in the south. It's been real cold, but I like it cold in my room. Right? I ain't gotta ever trip about that. I'm not homeless. I'm not up under the bridge. I'm not wanting for nothing. I'm not hurting for nothing. Yeah, I might not be exactly where I would like to be, but I'm not fucked up down bad on my ass either, like most other people sometimes. And that's good enough. How that simply is good enough on finding the beauty in a situation. Yeah, you might not have enough for a shopping spree. Yeah, you might need your hair done right now. Yeah, you probably ain't bought yourself no new shoes or no new clothes in a minute, but you ain't hungry. Your bills paid, your babies got what they need. Their school expenses is paid for. Your school expenses is paid for. How well can we just sit in that and be thankful for that? Find the beauty in that. Find the pleasure in that as everything continues to roll and grow, right? Anxiety is here, fear, anxiety, stress, right? For a lot of y'all, again, that's something that's kind of keeping you. Again, comparing yourself, looking at other people, eyes on your own paper. Because the more you compare yourself, the more you'll only be stressed out, worried, overwhelmed, overstimulated, full of fear, unable to sleep, right? All these obligations, all this baggage, all these responsibilities that you feel like you got to do, all these responsibilities that you tagging and piling on yourself because you trying to be like another motherfucker in order to really get to where you're trying to go. Where it's like you already got your resources, you already have things around you that can help aid you. You don't have to look at nobody. Again, when you planting your apple tree, you have all of the resources. You don't got to look two rows down and see how so and so doing that apple tree and that where they planted it and what type of fertilizer they using. Well, I ain't got that type of fertilizer. What type of water they using? What type of soil that is? Well, I ain't got that type of water and I don't know where to find that type of soil. Cool, you're not supposed to. Full stop. You're not supposed to. What you have at your fingertips to use to plant your apple tree is exactly what you need to plant this apple tree. You have to figure out where you're gonna plant it, how you're gonna plant it, and what works for you and your apple tree. But again, the more you keep comparing yourself, Child, you'll forget you're supposed to be planting the apple tree. Now you so enthralled with what other folks got going on and what other folks is doing that you didn't forgot that you're supposed to be doing some shit. Pay attention to what you're doing. Comparison is the thief of joy. It robs you of your beauty. It robs you of your pleasure. It robs you of seeing the beauty in things, being grateful for the beauty in things, and it robs you from your fullest potential. You never really know what your fullest potential is the more you keep comparing yourself to what another motherfucker doing and what another motherfucker being. You trying to be like this person, you can be your own person. Now I said, imagine if Kelly was trying to be like Beyonce. Imagine if Beyonce was trying to be like Kelly. Then we'd have two lookalikes. We have two copycats. We have a 2.0 in this motherfucker. But we wouldn't have the beauty of having Kelly and Beyonce. That's why we have Kelly and Beyonce. But if one of them was way too focused on the other one, we have Beyonce and Beyonce Jr. Come on now, carve your own lane. Focus on yourself and focus on what makes you you, uniquely you. You are uniquely beautiful. Everything that's going on with your journey, everything that's going on with you, whether it be how you look physically, your life, your circumstances right now, there's a unique beauty about all of it. Find it and bask in it. Find it and bask in it. There's the Ten of Cups here. You have the Four of Pentacles. For some of you where this is finances, you do need to focus on like penny pinching and withholding. For others of you, this feels like you might need to like take some solitude time. And this feels different from like hermit mode because this doesn't feel like solitude time to find enlightenment as much as it feels like solitude time to really just collect yourself. Get back in tune with yourself. Get back in tune with your values. Get back in tune with what makes you you this week. Get back in tune with just, what grounds you this week. Even if it's turning the phone off and just spending the weekend in the house. That's okay. Do that. If it means getting back to yourself, turn the TV off, turn the phone off, and really sit with who you are, what you want out of life, how you feel about things, where is your life going, where would you want it to go, and how can you get it there without again having to feel like you got to compare and well, I want to do this but they already doing that, well, I've been trying to do this for so long and this person already got it. That was it. And I have to catch myself from doing it too, where sometimes I see people and I'll be wondering like how were people surviving? How were people going about life? How were people like doing these things? And I have to constantly, for one, remind myself that, oh, these people have loving parents. Full stop. Right? These people have loving parents, mothers and fathers who, will put their neck out on the line for them. I'm just not so fortunate. My mama be talking to me and shit like we in the same boat. Like, yeah, because for people like us, if we don't work, we don't eat. It's like, I'm your kid. You're actually supposed to be helping us. Like again, there's an expectancy for parents to, help and like elevate their child. But some of us are not that fortunate. But again, I can sit here and mope and compare my life and go, oh, because well, they have moms and parents who like help them and go the extra mile. Yeah, and I mean it sucks. It's not to say that you can't honor how you feel and your frustrations, but you gonna sit here and keep comparing, or you gonna put your head together with your own self and figure out what you gonna do to get where you're going because your unique journey is uniquely for you. It would have been nice to have parents who focused on actually getting themselves in a better position so their kids could be in a better position. Unfortunately for me, both of my parents, as much as I say this with respect to my mother, both of their asses was knuckleheads. Chasing behind the wrong shit, looking for love in all the wrong damn places. Trying to find love that they neither of them got from their motherfucking parents and shit. Didn't know how to give that love, didn't know how to receive it neither. Still spent a lot of time in their life looking for it instead of actually loving on themselves, getting themselves taken correctly, getting themselves right so their children can be fine. And again, I can either spend the rest of my life sad and moping and crying about it, or I can just bite the bullet and figure out what I'm gonna do because my journey is uniquely myself. I simply don't have that. That is just not the blessing that God bestowed upon me. And that's fine. But that don't mean I'm not going to eventually ever have it. That don't mean I'm not going to eventually ever get to where I'm trying to go. But comparing my life to a motherfucker who might be I perceive further ahead than me, or might have more than me, or seems to have it easier than me because, oh, they had parents that set them up like that. Crying about it ain't gonna help me. Crying about it ain't gonna get me no money. Crying about it ain't gonna help me go where I'm trying to go in life. So it just depends on how you want to handle it. And for some of you, again, you kind of need to take some time for yourself to really think about that, to really kind of collect yourself, to kind of really ground yourself and really remind yourself of like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm trying to go. What do I need to do in my Cat Williams voice? So what do I need to do to tap into and tune in with my star player? Because now this is about me getting in tune and tapping in with my star player. Okay. Give me some money messages cards because it's almost time. The sun about to be completely down. I think I got like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 18. Hopefully. So let's see. Give me a couple of money cards to wrap up and get up out of here. Give me some finance cards for this week. What do we need to know financially as far as money manifestations? Blessings. Unexpected fortune is about to come. This is a great time to enjoy the blessings pouring in. Your finances are doing well at the moment. Again, so comparison this week is a no. Do not compare yourself. Do not compare your life. Okay, remember that there is beauty in your situation, and everyone's situation is uniquely different, specifically toward them. Guidance. Your angels and spirit guides have your back. They are doing the work in the background to make a way for your opportunities. Stay optimistic. Again, so again, another emphasis of comparing yourself, comparing your life where you are right now is not going to help you, especially because again, the people you might be comparing your very real, very authentic life to, it's all fake. That was it again. How you gonna a motherfucker on Instagram posting they wins, posting money to their ear and all of that? You don't even know that was the money that they had years ago from PPP. Them pictures are old. Okay, those are archived photos. They got that money from scamming, doing all type of wild, and these are the people you comparing your life to. Your beautiful little 9 to 5 that you get up and beat the motherfucking clock for every day, day in and day out. You comparing yourself to a bunch of motherfuckers who fucking for money, a bunch of motherfuckers who selling dope, scamming, doing head ass shit for it. And these are the people you comparing yourself to. But they not getting it the authentic way. You know what I'm saying? Your beauty, your body and shit. You comparing your beautiful body, your handsome face, your beautiful face to somebody who done laid on the table. No disrespect, no tea, no shade to nobody who done laid on the table. But again, let's be realistic here. You're not gonna have the Coke bottle frame because you didn't get under a knife for it. And don't shame yourself in your progress for my gym girly. Look you in the gym day in and day out, bitch, busting that ass. Don't be getting on the internet and then acting like, oh, I'm just so behind. I'm just not doing enough. No, you're doing just enough. Don't compare yourself to a bunch of motherfuckers who cheat in any way. Don't compare your real grades off of this exam that you studied hard for somebody who literally cheated and got the answers. It's not the same. That's not the same, especially when you have things coming in. Your divine team is working for you. That's something to be in mind for, to keep in mind for this week. Your divine team is working for you. Your divine team is moving, shaking, opening doors. And you have blessings that's really about to start pouring in. So now, again, now ain't the time to be trying to compare yourself and to compare the lack thereof. As opposed to find the beauty in it, be happy, be thankful, and allow the rest of your blessings to finish pouring in. Third card, it says, watch out. There's more than what meets the eye. Be careful with whom you deal your finances with. Someone might be taking advantage of your vulnerability. So just be mindful of that. I wouldn't be talking finances with nobody. I wouldn't be sharing finances with nobody. And I'd be real, real hush hush about how much money you making, about how much money you getting, and all of that. I wouldn't even it's so much as try to consult with other people about what they doing. Again, this is not the time for comparison. Don't even consult with nobody about what the fuck they doing. Because again, people will give you the runaround, people will give you half-ass truths, people will take advantage of your vulnerability because they know you trying to get like them, and they'll goddamn scam you and give you all type of bullshit. Yeah, well, what you need to do. And I was like, I done had somebody just the other day act like, oh, well, what have you ever? I'm gonna help you with your credit. I'm gonna have you do. I don't want to do that. Because I don't know nothing about that. I ain't trying to really know nothing about that. That's too advanced for me. I'll just build my credit back up the regular way, the old school way. I ain't trying to do nothing quick, fast, easy. I don't like nothing microwavable. We can do this the regular way, so that way I know I'm doing it the correct way. Okay, I ain't even too well versed and knowledgeable on a whole bunch of shit like that, so I ain't finna get myself in a whole bunch of shit I don't know nothing about, trusting nobody and flying by the seat of my motherfucking pussy in my pants and shit. No. So be very mindful of your finances. Be very mindful who you talk finances with. Be very mindful who you sharing finances with, and be very careful who you go to as far as financial advising and counsel. Because again, you have some good shit coming in. Is what this the blessings and the guidance card is saying. You have good things coming in. Don't block your blessings and fuck up your blessings because you're dealing and interacting with the wrong people. Mainstream is the last card. It's time to be seen and show the world your talent. Your business is getting more audience, is getting more of an audience at this time. So for those of you who are online, virtual businesses, you do content or whatever, you kind of put yourself out there. Now is the time to do that. Your personality, your talents, who you are can definitely bring more of an audience. You need to be seen though. Okay, people need to see you. People need to know who you are. So if you're a wallflower like me, I feel like that might be a little bit of a message to myself. But if you're a wallflower like me, now is the time to get your back up off the wall. Let people see you. Let people interact with you. People want to know who you are. Allow your light and your aura to come out. So that way it'll attract more of an audience, and that way you can get more blessings and more finances like that. That's for by people who are on the internet. Okay, vloggers, content creators, virtual business, whatever, well, however you do it, whatever you do, however you do, whatever, however, whatever, whenever, however. Fill in the blank here. Okay, now is the time to really be seen, because being seen is what's going to garner you more of an audience, which can then bring more blessings, more opportunities, and even more finances. But you have to be seen in order for that to happen. People not gonna come knock on your door and say, "Hey, I was told that person watching is a great, amazing, immaculate personality, and we wanted to come check that out." No, you have to put yourself in a position to be seen. You know, I was talking to my ancestors the other day, and I'm gonna wrap this up. And I was talking to them about a couple of things that I want to, and I was hit over my head with the enlightenment of it's like football and shit. You know how when a quarterback throw the pass, you got to be in position to be able to catch that motherfucker. But if you ain't at the right spot at the right time to be able to catch the pass, you fuck up the whole play. Put yourself in position to be able to catch your blessings. That's for somebody. Put yourself in position to be able to catch your blessings. Because again, your divine team can set up the blessings and set up the play all they want to. But unless you're actually in position to receive, unless you're actually doing the work to be able to allow these blessings to rain down in your life, you'll just miss the rain shower. You'll just miss the pass. Then you be sitting there with egg on your face and shit because you've been praying and hoping and hoping and praying and praying and hoping and hoping and praying, and ain't nothing happening. And it's because you just simply have never put yourself in position to actually receive these blessings. So allow yourself to be seen. Put yourself out there. Allow your talents to be seen by other people. That's how you kind of put yourself in position. So that way when these opportunities come, these blessings come, these contracts, these finances come, you're in position to get them already, as opposed to missing your ship and missing the sail because you simply just never put yourself in position anyway to really get things moving and elevated. Instead, you kind of spent a whole lot of time comparing yourself to people who perhaps maybe already put themselves in position already to be able to receive the blessings that you watching them get, and comparing the lack thereof to. That's for somebody. Anyway, thank you so much for visiting my channel. I really appreciate it. If I'm calling signs, I don't really see much except for this magician card, which gives me Gemini and Virgo energy. Temperance card is down at the bottom of the deck, which is giving me Sagittarius energy. That's really all I have. Again, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments if this resonated. I am open for personal readings. I'm going to take the discount code down. I honestly probably will do that at the end of the month. So yeah, definitely make sure you check that out. Like, share, subscribe. As you can see, it's getting darker and darker. So I'm happy I'm kind of wrapping this up now, because like I said, we have about like a cool 15 to 18 minutes before it get real dark in here. So I'm just gonna go. My name is B, just in case you forgot from the beginning of this, and I will see you over on the next video. Bye.